Please do come in. We are open for business. Welcome to the Realm of Necromancy. Feel free to browse as much as you'd like. My little shop has everything from fragrant embalming fluids to instructional literature for the beginner. I am Madame Draskua. Some call me a flesh sculptor. I work with the flesh of the dead, give it new life, of a sort. If you have a specific project in mind, I'll do what I can to assist you. Undead creations are finicky, and if you would like a loyal, undead companion of your own, you better hire a professional. What kind of creation did you have in mind? An undead bodyguard. That would be quite the challenge, yes. Unless you are trained as a necromancer yourself, it would be unadvisable for you to undertake this on your own. Undead creations are difficult and time-consuming to make, and requires a rather substantial amount of resources. The magic that animates them must be finely adjusted to ensure that the creation works as intended. You do not want your undead to remain idle while you are in danger, nor turn against you and strike you in your sleep. I do accept special commissions from time to time, so if you are willing to pay the cost, I could create this creature for you. We could get started straight away, if you have the time. I would recommend a thorough consultation before you decide what to do. We will go through all of your wishes and expectations for your undead protector. I'll tell you what you can reasonably expect and give you a time and price estimate. None of it is binding, not until we sign a contract. Will you seize the opportunity to create your own undefeatable undead protector? The choice is yours, and the power awaits. With my expertise and your vivid imagination, we shall create an unstoppable force. As soon as I find my pen and some paper. All right, let's get down to business then. The first thing you need to consider is stature and build. Will you opt for an imposing, towering, armored creature to strike fear into the hearts of your enemies? Or perhaps a sleek and agile design nimble as a feline, to swiftly eliminate any threats in your path. So, basically, would you like a tank or a rogue? It will determine what creature I put inside the armor. And I do recommend the creature to be fully covered in some sort of armor, unless you have a sense for the grotesque. Fully armored tank. Good choice. There is something very satisfying about those powerful strikes and that impenetrable exterior, even if you do sacrifice a bit of speed. Your own undead knight, then. It will be a comforting and reassuring presence, I'm sure. And the armor itself? Plated steel armor. May I suggest to make it kind of noble looking, but in a dark, imposing way? Would you like spikes anywhere? Oh, they're not very practical, but they can be imposing, and lowering enemy morale is certainly one way of getting the upper hand in a fight. I'll make sure it looks properly noble, royal, if you like, and with more than a touch of darkness to it. Next up is choice of weapon. Heavy, of course, but what kind? A two-handed blade, a battle axe, or some sort of bludgeoning tool like a hammer or a club. Maybe not a club. It does seem a bit too barbarian for an armored knight, doesn't it? Would you prefer a sword, perhaps? A heavy blade, then, one usually wielded with both hands, but I'll bet your knight will be able to wield it like a one-handed weapon. That should give the creature a very wide range, grey and spiky, to match the armor. Big hilt, the ends shaped like some sort of royal-looking animal. How about a griffin? I feel like we're inventing a story with your knight. Maybe you need a royal house to go with it. Let's imagine it. You are the last surviving member of a royal family from a hidden kingdom in the mountains somewhere. After a long war Ravaged by the undead, the kingdom falls and is all but forgotten. The knight is the last protector of the royal line, turned undead himself by the creatures attacking your kingdom, but remaining loyal even in death. How romantic. You also need to pick a few command words, not too many, and they must be fairly simple. Whole sentences won't do. Grammar is difficult for the undead. The most basic command is follow, to make the knight follow a few paces behind you. I would recommend a simple stop for the knight to cease whatever it is doing and remain idle in a standing position until told otherwise. And pointing to the ground while saying here will make the knight go to that position and stay there again until told otherwise. When it follows you around, you don't want it to randomly stop in a doorway and block your exit. We've had some problems with that in the past. Some say pointing is rude, but I find it useful. We can do the same with attack, a one-word command, plus pointing towards whoever you want the creature to attack, purely for self-defense purposes, of course. The knight will have to be primed to you to ensure that you are the only person it will accept commands from. It's a relatively easy process, takes about half an hour. You'll have to come back in for it when your creation nears completion. We used to prime creations like this to a small object, so whoever held the object would control the creature as well. This allows families and friends to share, but one also runs the risk of losing the object, or it might end up in the wrong hands. So we don't do that anymore. We learn from our mistakes, or try to at least. I have no further questions for you at the time being. What remains for me now, after the creature and its armor is properly assembled, is the enchanting itself. When I'm done with your undead knight, it will glow and crackle with magical energy. You will be able to feel the raw power imbued into its dead flesh. This is where magic meets bone and steel. forging a formidable force of unwavering strength. The armor will have carved runes that will glow faintly in blue and purple whenever the creature is given an order. When that stops happening, you do need to come back for a recharge. With daily use, the charge should last a year or so. So hopefully it's not a big inconvenience to you. A year is enough for extensive travel even. And if you use the creature only now and then, it will last longer, of course. If you plan to use it mainly to guard the entrance to your abode, that's what a lot of our customers do, then it should suffice to bring it in for a new charge and tune-up every second year or so. So, what do you think? Wonderful. Once we are done here, you can go over to my assistant at the front desk, and he will help you draw up a contract. Since you are placing a rather large order, I would like to offer you a complimentary gift to go with your purchase. Our undead pet of the month. This month, it's a mummified bunny. Won't last very long, I'm afraid. A week or so before it falls apart. But it is rather entertaining, for as long as it does last. No? Are you certain? Very well. I don't really blame you. They do tend to be a bit, smelly, in spite of the fragrant oils we use. Just the undead night, then. We will let you know when you can come in for the priming. Expect an undead messenger bird in a couple of weeks or so. I believe you will be very happy with your purchase. This creature will make your friends envy you and your enemies fear you for certain. I have my work cut out for me with this one. Better get to it